Hello friends, I feel like at this point Defenders reviews are a dime a dozen, and while a good amount of them are negative, people do seem to like it. I liked it myself, but I have a lot of issues with the show. But there's one scene in particular that I think just exemplifies everything wrong with the Defenders, and it's like, no matter how hard they try to make something big and actually well done, there's always one piece that falls through the cracks. And sometimes it's so obvious, like making your martial artist actually know martial arts to some degree. The scene that I'm talking about is when Jessica Jones is walking down the street and starts to suspect that she's being followed. She turns around her shoulder and bam, right there I want to stop and point out this guy. This bald guy with the brown leather jacket and his wife with the banana yellow scarf. We'll call them our first suspects because we're going to see them a lot in this scene. She's not only being followed by one person, but it seems that every single extra in the scene is following everything that's going on, and I don't know why, but I'll show you. While she walks, the camera actually does try to do something cool, but as soon as it cuts, we very quickly see the same couple walking in an opposite direction that they were walking before. But what's even stranger is immediately after that cut, we see the couple for a third time walking in the same direction they were just walking, but from a completely different angle. It's like they teleported. Now, right before you see the couple for the second time, you see this fellow with a black jacket, black scally cap, and a blue and gray scarf. In the same way that you immediately see the couple, you see this guy walking in front of Jessica Jones, a complete opposite direction than he was just walking, and he stands in front of her for a good 5 seconds. If you had just noticed him in that shot before, it makes no sense why he would be walking in front of her here. Before I go any further, I want to draw attention to this girl with the dreads and the brown jacket. She's gonna pop up in such an obvious way, just keep your eyes open. It's basically like we're playing a Where's Waldo game with random people. Now this guy with the black hat and the gray scarf, please don't call me crazy for going into this so heavy. He's standing still and starts to walk, but is immediately walking towards Jessica Jones in a direct angle behind her, right? That's okay, that kind of checks out, right? But the camera tries to do something cool again here for the second time. It zooms underneath the feet of the people of New York so that you actually catch Daredevil following Jessica Jones. Kind of interesting, right? But after you catch up with Daredevil, you immediately see the guy with the black hat and the gray scarf walking the same angle, like he just died in a Mario game and had to start over. It's really weird. Oh, and there's the guy with the blue and gray scarf too. Now, you're either thinking that I'm looking into this way too much, or this is really obvious. I think it's ridiculously obvious what's going on here. Daredevil's blind, so he's listening to Jessica's footsteps, and they disappear. She doubles back behind Daredevil, but right as the camera pans behind Daredevil, right as it pans behind him, you see the couple, the bald guy with the leather jacket and the lady with the banana scarf right behind him. This is the 5th time that we've seen this couple walking a completely different direction than we saw them just walking. Either this is the most bored couple in New York, or there's something weird going on here. Now that Jess is following Daredevil, he's in the lead and he turns a corner. He bumps into the girl with the dreads and the brown jacket that I pointed out before, right? I mean, we just saw her. This is extremely obvious, and Daredevil even goes in for a bit of an ass tap there. Dude, I know you're blind, all right? But there's limitations to what you can get away with here, Matt. But as Jess turns the corner, if you look ever so closely, who can you see pass by her but the guy with the blue and gray scarf again? These people of New York are on an infinite loop, ladies and gentlemen. They're in a Mario game. They die, they go back to where they started, and they walk. But finally, for the last bit of ridiculous evidence, and it's not that guy with the hood that we just saw, but finally, right as Matt's about to scurry down a corner and Jess is just about to catch up to him, we see the girl with the dreads in the brown jacket walking an opposite way than she just bumped into Matt walking. And if you look so closely, you can see, if we just zoom in and enhance, you can see the bald guy and the banana nana walking in the background, and my mind is blown. How do you have a set of extras walk through a scene 6 times, walking opposite directions in front of the camera? Look, this might seem really stupid, but this took me out of the scene as soon as I noticed. And like, I've been obsessing over this, obviously. This is not what I should be obsessing over in the Defenders. What? But it's such a dumb scene. Who was in charge of the extras? And now that you've walked to the end of the scene, please start back over that way and walk a different direction. But make sure you step right in front of the camera so we get to see your beautiful face. These people have got to be family members of people working on the set. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you notice any extras that show up more than once or twice, let me know down below, because honestly, I'd like to add them to the list. And if you can help me think of an explanation for how this happened, I'd love to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to know what happens when Matt turns the corner, and if you're an Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan, you will love my video that I just posted before this. Thanks a lot, guys, and I hope to chomp down again with you really soon. See ya.